Hello, and welcome to the TA Suyt Show. I'm your host, Tiffany, aka TA Suyt. That is Suyt with a Y and not an I. Feel free to visit my website, tasuyt.com, TASUYT.com, to see all things that I am selling, including merch, including books. This is a Let's Talk About It episode. And the topic today is going to be comfort zones and risk. And remember, all the quotes that I am mentioning from this episode is in this book right here, written by me, T.A. Suyt. A very tiny book of very big quotes. Get it right now online. Go to my website. Find out where to get yours. All right? But we're talking about comfort zones and risks. And the reason why comfort zones sometimes are meant to be getting out of. We don't have to stay there, because a lot of times getting out of our comfort zone is the best thing for us. And here's some quotes that can kind of back up what I'm saying. Quote number 1 goes like this: take comfort in feeling uncomfortable. Life is filled with uncomfortable situations that you can't escape. But what it's teaching you is adaptability. You'll be shocked by just how capable you truly are at handling those situations. And sometimes the biggest blessings come from getting out of your comfort zone. Ain't it the truth? As you get older, as you mature, as you learn with experience, you learn that in life, sometimes you can't stay where you are. Because sometimes staying where you are keeps you stuck. It's keep you stagnant. You're not moving forward. You're not pushing forward. You're not progressing. You're not growing. And sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone. Now, what that looks like for you is going to be completely different for everybody. Sometimes it means getting out of your comfort zones in social situations. Maybe it means a job and taking risk in that way. Sometimes it's your own personal growth and your healing internally, personal stuff. It all different. It differentiates depending on the person and your situation. But just know this: regardless of who you are, getting out of your comfort zone is actually teaching you adaptability. Doesn't matter who you are. Your situation is tailor-made for you. Okay? So even if it seems like you're going through something right now that's really, really bad, or you're stuck in a really, really big rut, and you're wondering, how am I going to get out of this one? Am I going to get out of this one? Am I being punished? Or am I going to be stuck here forever? You're not. You're not being punished. You're not going to be stuck there forever. Sometimes there is another way out. There's another door. There's another opening. And sometimes it forces you to do something you wouldn't do otherwise. And that's get out of your comfort zone. In order to do that, you got to use faith. You got to trust and believe that sometimes getting out of your comfort zone is going to lead you to even better, greater things. It teaches you adaptability. Because maybe in that new situation that you thought you couldn't adapt to, you can actually really, really adapt to it, and very well. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Maybe you were nervous about something before and you thought maybe this hasn't got nothing to do with me. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't. No. It does. Try it. Take the risk. Get out of your comfort zone. See what happens then. And watch. Maybe really, really good things can happen, but you can't do that remaining stuck. You got to move sometimes. And in order to move, you got to take some risks. Next quote. Sometimes people can get so comfortable with where they are that they can stay stuck in their ways. But just because they don't want to elevate doesn't mean you have to remain stuck too. You may look back and still see them stuck, and they might look forward and hardly recognize you from the back. Just know they can catch up to you, but only if/when they're ready to. Look, some people get stuck in some ruts. I know I've been in a couple ruts myself. And when you're in a rut, especially if it's a mental rut, you're in a rut, you feel like you can't get out of that thing. And sometimes you're not motivated. You don't want to try. You're tired. You're fatigued. And sometimes it's easier, you think, to just stay there. Lay in it. Wallow in it. Let it take over you like a wave. But it's not true. Because the more the wave washes over you, the more you feel like you're drowning. And you feel like you're drowning in that sorrow. And then you're just in this state of melancholy. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to try. And you get too comfortable in your situation, in your mess, or being here, that you don't feel like you can elevate. But you can. And it's not really waiting on someone else to tell you that you can. Because you can. Regardless of if I tell you to do this and tell you to get out of your comfort zone and tell you to try and get out of there and step out on faith, it's up to you, ultimately. I could preach to you all day and night, but if you don't want to try, that's on you. You know what to expect next. The exact same thing you got before. Nothing's going to change. But if you want change, progress, growth, progression, if you want to see some differences in your life, if you want to actually step out on faith and see what the Lord has out there for you, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to realize that even the smallest step is still a step. And even if it doesn't seem big in the eyes of other people, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're doing this for you, that you're progressing at your speed, and that you are elevating. But don't be the kind of people who will just stay there, because there's going to be other people who's going to surpass you, and they're going to elevate. They're going to push forward regardless of what they're going through. And sometimes they will leave you where you're at, and they will move forward, and you will feel like you're being left behind. It happens. It does. But don't feel like just because you're left behind that you can't eventually get there to where they're at as well. It may take some time. Your journey may be different. You might have to take a lot of more obstacles and twists and turns, but you will get there. But you got to trust and believe in yourself. You have to try. You have to put in the work. Internally and externally, you've got to put in the work. It's no one else's decision. It's no one else's actions. It's yours. You got to do this for you. Otherwise, you will remain where you're at. And if you're okay with that, you stay there. Nobody's forcing you to leave your comfort zone. If it's really, really safe, stay there. You know that you don't have to expect nothing different. Today is going to be like yesterday. But if you want to see some change in your life, you want to see some growth, some progression, try getting out of your comfort zone and try doing something that maybe you didn't even think that you could do. Try it out for a job that maybe you didn't even think you were qualified for. See what happens. Go in for it. You just might get it. Gotta try though. Don't stay where you're at. You gotta try. Here's the next quote. And the last quote. And it goes like this. Fog can be scary at times. It blocks your view so you can't see too far ahead. But isn't that just how life goes? Did you ever stop and think why that is? You might not be able to see too far ahead now, but you can still see just enough to keep moving forward confidently. And just because it looks like there's nothing up ahead doesn't mean that's actually true. Traveling in fog is simply moving in faith. So keep moving forward. Nothing has disappeared. You simply can't see it yet. Ever drove in fog? I'm not talking about that really thick, heavy shit where you're like, okay, can't see a thing. Why did I go out today? I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, early morning fog. When you look down the block and you're like, can't even see the houses down there. And if you ever try driving through it, at first it looks like you can't see those houses. Like everything is just kind of disappeared. It's behind this haze. But once you move towards it, once you're actually in it, you start seeing things. You realize the houses didn't disappear at all. They were there. They were just hidden behind the fog. And that's what life is. That's what faith is. That's what getting out of your comfort zones are. It's about moving through the fog. Sure, when you apply to that job in that completely different area, yeah, it's scary at first. And you don't know what to expect on your first day if you do get the job. Sure, it's going to be scary to start a new project or a hobby, a new relationship, get new neighbors, move into a new neighborhood. It's going to be scary at first when you're learning something. Getting out of your comfort zone, learning how to drive for the first time, ride a bike, anything. It's going to be difficult at first. But you got to overcome your fear. You have to trust and have faith in yourself. I already do because I've already been there. So I know that whatever comfort zone you're in right now, you don't have to stay there. I know that even if you baby step it and you start taking little steps towards something different, towards something you want, towards a goal, you're going to see the progress. And maybe it's not as quick as you want it to be, but you will see the progress. And you're going at your speed, not anybody else's. Don't compare your situation to anyone else's. I'm telling you right now, that's a recipe for disaster. Don't do that. But move through the fog. Try something. If it doesn't work out, then okay. But guess what? You tried and you lived and you're still living and you're still okay. And life is still going on. The world hasn't stopped spinning yet. You're fine. You tried once, you can try again. Don't get nervous. Don't get scared. Don't think that you can't do it. Don't think yourself into submission. Think positively. I can do this. Yes, I can do this. Even if it doesn't work out, then maybe that particular thing wasn't meant for me or wasn't meant for me at the moment. But that's okay. I've got a lesson out of it. And I'm okay. But you got to step out on faith. You got to move through the fog. No one's going to just drive through fog thinking, oh, at any moment, I'm pretty sure I can fall off the face of the earth. There's nothing up ahead. I'm going to fall off the edge. I know it. I just know it. You know there's some on the other side. You know there's still street. You know the road hasn't gone nowhere. You know to just keep going forward. Don't burn rubber. But you do know that it's safe to keep moving forward. Maybe you don't see everything at first, and that's the thing. You're not supposed to. The Lord didn't set it up because He's going to show you the end before the beginning. He's not going to tell you right now, this is where you're going to be at. This is the end goal. This is what's going to happen. This is going to be your dream job. This is what your wife is going to look like. This is it. This is the kids. This is that hobby. There's that side hobby that's going to be your business. This is it. This is what it's going to look like. He don't do that. The Lord has to show it to you in bits and pieces. He's got to know first, do you trust me? Do you have faith? Are you getting out of your comfort zone? Because if you are, then boom. You're going to start seeing the progression yourself. You don't need to know what the end looks like right now. But just know that there is an end. And it's a good one. And He's got positive things for you. Life has positive things for you, but it all starts with you successfully taking steps, realistic steps, but steps still, towards getting out of your comfort zone. Because if you stay in your comfort zone, nothing's going to change. Every day is going to be the exact same. Today's the same as yesterday. But if you step out of your comfort zone, at least you'll get something different. And that different thing just might be the best thing for you. But you're not going to know until you try. All right? All right. See you in the next one. Now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, or follow.